What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and one that I'm actually really excited for, because if you've been watching my channel lately, you might have seen that I actually recently shot a video about how I picked up a commercial property for my own investment purposes. And today I'm going to break down what I bought, what all the numbers look like, why I picked this particular property, and what's going on in the market right now, which made me feel like now was the best time to get in. So this is going to be a fun one inside my own personal real estate journey. All that I ask is that if you're liking this content, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel. I noticed that last time a lot of people were actually really interested in that video. So I'm hoping that you guys really enjoy this video as I go more in depth in it. And then, as always, if at any point when you're watching this, if you want help or my opinion, if you're needing assistance in getting into your own next investment property, or if you're looking for something that's very similar to what I picked up, feel free to go down in the first link in the description below, where you can book a call directly into my calendar and book a call with me, and we can chat about your real estate plans. Okay, with that being said, let's dive right into it. So for those of you who are new or maybe not know me, I mean, yes, I am a real estate agent here in Toronto, but I'm also an active real estate investor. I bought my first home when I was 21 years old, and now this is my latest acquisition, and one that I'm really pumped about. It's going to be the biggest one that I've made in terms of the amount of tenants that it has, because this is a 4-unit building. I'm really pumped to go over this. I think it's important to go over this because obviously, like, you know, there's a lot of real estate agents, you know, whether on YouTube, social media, or just like in your life, who are talking about, you know, buying, you know, and selling and getting into the market and investing and building, you know, wealth through real estate. And it's one thing to talk about it, and it's a whole nother thing to actually do it. So this is me walking the walk for you guys, which is why I really wanted to break this down and show you what this looks like. Now, in terms of where the market is currently at and why I decided to make this purchase now, I mean, if we look back, you know, when the market is going up, it's really easy for people to want to invest because they know the market is moving in the upward direction. They know that they're instantly going to make money on that purchase. But if we know anything about investing, we always want to make purchase on a down market or when there's uncertainty in the air. And that's exactly where we're at right now. You know, if we look at the run up from about 2017 to 2022, the market was just absolutely on fire. And then now we've seen higher interest rates. And over the last few years, we've seen prices significantly drop. Now, I know there's so many people who are waiting for the crash of the market. And honestly, it's already crashed. And I'm going to show you a little graph here that really illustrates a good comparison to where we are currently in comparison to other recessions that we've seen. So we are the black line. This is Canada 2022. And this post comes from BMO Economics, from the bank there. I've seen this posted all over Twitter. I know Daniel Foch, another real estate agent, posts this on his Twitter as well. So it really just compares our current economic situation and I guess the crash, you could call it, compared to the biggest recessions across Canada over the last 30 years. So you can see here that this is where we were in the peak, so 100% in early 2022, and we've seen that 15 to 20% decline, which actually puts us very much in line with the biggest recession that Ontario's ever seen, which was the recession of the 1990s. Now, for me, I'm hoping that we kind of peel back out towards this line a lot sooner than it did in the 1990s here, because you can see this recession in the 90s took 10 years for the market to recover. But considering we dropped a little bit quicker, if you can see the 1990s line is up here, I'm hoping that we're going to recover a little bit sooner. But taking this in account, okay, I know that there's uncertainty in the market right now. There's uncertainty with the economics, with the politics, with, you know, potential tariffs, and people are scared. And I know for me, that's an opportunity to get in, get a good deal, which I got, and I'll show you what I got in a little bit. And just looking at this, okay, we've never seen a recession that really saw more than a 20% decline. And since we're already there, can I afford to actually buy this property knowing that it may go down another 5 to 10% before it rebounds back up? And because I purchased this particular property that is actually cash flow positive, I can afford, you know, for the property value to drop a little bit down. And not that I think that it will, but I think that even if it did, and I've considered that, I'm okay with that, considering that it's making me positive cash flow every single month. And it is, in fact, this uncertainty that led to me getting such a good deal. And I'll even show you because, ironically enough, this property actually sold originally at the peak. And I'm going to share with you what that price was. And then I'm going to share with you what I ended up buying it for. Just to kind of preface before I get into the pictures, it is a commercial, mixed retail and residential townhouse. It's in the Upper Beaches area. So, you know, when you're in Toronto and you go to any, major intersection, major road, like you go on Queen Street, you go on even King Street, you'll see like those townhouses that have a retail location on the main floor, and then they'll have apartments upstairs. It's essentially one of those. And this particular property has 4 units. So it's got a main floor unit, and then it's got 3 residential units. I picked it up for just under $1.1 million. I'm going to skip out on the upstairs tenant just because her belongings are in the photos and I don't want to put anybody on blast here, but there's a barbershop on the main floor. The property has been fully renovated, so like immensely renovated. I saw the before pictures from when the previous owner owned it in 2017 when they originally bought it, and it was, it needed work. They put about $350,000 into the property. They've got the nice white exposed brick, really nice little barbershop. They actually also underpinned the basement and added another unit in there. So this is the back main rear building. So again, upgraded kitchen, everything's been fully renovated, the bathrooms, everything. And then this is the basement unit again, same finishes there with the new kitchen, new floors, and they underpinned it again to make this suite possible. And then the upstairs 2-bedroom unit is of very similar finishes. So I mentioned earlier that there's like peak pricing and that prices have come down, which is a big reason as to why I bought this property. And just to give you an idea of how much this property came down in value, this building actually sold for $1.55 million in the spring of 2022. And unfortunately for the seller, the deal fell apart because they hadn't closed one of the permits on the basement underpinning. And by the time they closed the permits, interest rates had gone up and the buyer had disappeared. So then they were on the market for quite some time. I'd been watching this building, and originally when it hit the market, it started at 1.8 million. Then they reduced to 1.6, 1.5, 1.4, 1.2. And then once it hit 1.2, I threw them an offer of $1 million. We ended up settling at $1.09 million. Okay, now just breaking this down into my monthly numbers, just using a simple mortgage calculator, and I'll leave a link where you can download one of these down below. I highly suggest anybody getting into investment properties get very familiar with one of these because you're going to want to know what your monthly numbers look like. So starting out the top here, $1,090,000 purchase price. Like I said, now I did have to put a larger down payment down because it is commercial space. You can't get away with 20%. So in this case, I had to put $290,000 down, which ended up being about 26%. One of the downsides of going with the commercial route is that you do have to put larger down payments. That and your mortgage rates are going to be a little bit higher, probably about a point higher, if not a little bit more. But again, probably why it was on the market for so long, a lot of people just write it off. And for me, I can't find anything that cash flows anywhere near this much for this price. In fact, if I went the residential route, I would have to go upwards of $1.6, $1.7 million, which would have likely been a very similar down payment in order to purchase that property with the same monthly numbers. So I felt like I was able to get this at a severe discount because a lot of people just overlooked it for the commercial aspect. I ended up getting a 5.13% rate for a 1-year fixed term. Now I went with the 1-year fix because I do think that rates are going to be coming down. And then at that point, I'll reassess and hopefully lock in for a longer term, lower rate. Over 25 years, that ends up making my payments $4,112. And then property taxes, like I said, $14,184 a year, which is a pain, but it is what it is. Other expenses, $636 I calculated. That's just per month for my heat, hydro, and water there. And then rental income, like I said, $8,830, which ends up cash flowing me a positive amount of $2,300 per month. In terms of cap rate, which is a really good measuring tool that a lot of investors use to calculate whether an investment is a good investment or not, basically it's the net income of the property divided by the property's value. So in this case, my net income being $81,093 divided by $1,090,000, which gives me a cap rate of 7.44%. Now, In the investment world, if you can find a 5 capper, that's generally a good indication of a solid income versus purchase price investment. I got it up to 7.44, which I felt like was really good and very hard to find in Toronto. That and the fact that the property is fully renovated, it really made it a no-brainer for me, where I could feel very confident putting my money in here, knowing that I wouldn't have to go in, do any serious repairs, and that the property is fully renovated. I'm getting a very healthy cap rate. So let me know down in the comment section below, what do you think of those numbers? I think that they're pretty impressive. I've had a very hard time finding anything similar, although I do know of another property that ironically has a barber shop and 4 residential suites. It's listed for a little bit more than this one, but the numbers are actually better than this one that's currently available on the market. If you are interested in similar properties, like I said, there is another one of these that is currently available. Just book a call on my calendar down below. And to kind of round this whole purchase out, I will say that when you are investing in real estate, there is this element of going with your gut. And it sounds a little like ridiculous. It's all about the numbers. And yes, it is all about the numbers. You got to like it. But I've seen some where I like the numbers, but for some reason, I just didn't like the deal. I didn't like the property. And this one, my gut was just telling me, I like this property, go for it, you can't lose. And you know, every home that I've ever bought, I've had that feeling. Same with the home that I'm in right now. You know, the second I walked in, they always say like, you'll know when you know. And you should know, and you should feel really good about it. And this one was just speaking to me. So when the opportunity came up to offer on it, and yeah, I did go aggressive. I offered them $200,000 below asking because I felt like I was in a position where I could, especially with the given market, you know, and the uncertainty that's around. That's when you get the good deals, and you don't really know exactly when or if they're going to pay off when you do buy in these uncertain times. But with real estate, the longer you hang on to it, the more it's going to end up paying off. And with something that's covering itself and turning a profit, I felt very confident in this one, and I'm really excited about it. With that being said, feel free, drop below your comments. Let me know where you're at in your real estate journey, whether you're looking for your first property or whether you're a seasoned veteran and you're just adding to your portfolio. Like I said, if anybody wants to get in touch with me, I've left a link down in the description below, and we'll see you on the next video.